Music go hot in the beat. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight. Stopping in, we've been tapping in. We ain't never late. Dropping gems, we've been locking in. Now let's elevate. Took else to win, running laps again. This is steady race. People's champ, boy, yeah, you know I've been a heavyweight.
What's going on, y'all? It is part 3 of episode 28 of the February 20th Heavyweight Bros podcast. I am your host, as always, your boy, the 5XL assassin, the diabolical diabetic, the big nasty, and to my right is the high yellow hitman, the coach Buck, the freaking deacon, my man, Uncle Raisin. How you feeling right now? We on episode 3 right now. It's been a couple hours. How you doing?
Listen, man, I'm here for it, man. You know me, I love potting days. So if you extend the day, it just makes for more fun and more greatness. So I'm here. What about you?
That's quite I think you're trying to prove that you're the optimistic one by giving this super optimistic outlook. I think that's like your whole point.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What's we call? I think this is the 3rd episode that we are trying on this new format that we're doing, where we're breaking up into smaller episodes. So we'd like to hear from you guys to know like what you think. Do you like it? Do you want to go back to the old format? Do you have other suggestions, questions, comments, concerns? Make sure you put them down in the comment section. All your stuff will be heard, and then we'll try to give you the best product possible. So make sure we make that happen. Now, this is like our 3rd and final topic of the day. Mm-hmm. It is the hardwood check-in. So I feel like before we get started and we dive deep into the All-Star Weekend stuff, I think there's something that kind of needs to be talked about because, like, you know, it was brought up, it's been rumored, but then like it's kind of been stamped and confirmed. And this is the fact that LeBron James has said that his game plan is to be a free agent and play on whatever team drafts his son Bronny for his final season. So like that, first of all, actually, well, I'll get into that in a second, but it's like, so that just in turn makes Bronny James quite possibly the most valuable rookie of all time that is not LeBron James. Mm-hmm. Like, it's crazy.
LeBron did something very smart. I think he pulled a LeVar Ball move. It was like, basically, I'm going to get my son into the league regardless. So, like, if his draft stock drops, if he doesn't do well in college, it's not going to matter because teams are still going to say, I would take a last year LeBron. And if he wants to play with his son that bad, I'm going to offer him $5 million to do so for the season. So, I'm just saying, if I'm a businessman and I draft your son, I'm like, yeah, you can come on over. This is what your salary is going to be, though. You're not hurting for money, though. You're really about playing with your son for this 1 year, so let's get it done.
What, like, is there a team that would draft Bronny and then tell LeBron, like, we don't want you here?
No.
Like, is there any, like, I'm trying to think of, like, any team that's, like, that spiteful?
No.
Like Cleveland obviously wouldn't do it because like they're kind of weird on them, but like Miami, no.
Celtics.
If the Celtics just drafted him and then LeBron's like, all right, I'm coming. They're like, you're not though.
No.
It's like, yo, that would be crazy.
And we're gonna coach your kid the way we want to.
And then like
he's got to be playing the 4.
I think. Can't just watch Bronny get yammed on every game. Like, without like, yo, we drafted LeBron's kid to embarrass him. Just to be like, look at your legacy. Like, and then like, he's like, yo, coach, like, sub me out. And he's like, no, suffer. Like, oh, what is this?
Hey, I know we just lost by 50, but we about to have practice. Everybody can go except Bronny.
Zion Williamson's 700-pound frame just barreled into my chest, and I got to keep guarding this one.
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
But no, I like I said, I think that's. If you're asking me, I think that's how it works out. The team drafts them. They get to get the last year LeBron for the minimum, and maybe something great happens.
I think this might possibly be the coolest thing that like anybody's ever done because it's like how much better can you guarantee your son's at least like the minimum, the success of being drafted? Mm-hmm. Granted, like whatever he does after that, it's like it's up to you, but it's like I literally did everything in my power to get you here. Mm-hmm. And like we've seen Bronny play, and like he's a fine basketball player, but I don't think any of us think he's going to be like a top 10 draft pick.
Not a lottery pick.
So it's like But if you're
But he still got what? 2 more years of high school or 1 more year? He's a junior this year.
So then he's got next year and stuff like that. So
And then college, so 2 more years of basketball. That's not professional.
Yeah. I thought it was super dope, and I was just like, man, like,
who would not do that for their kid?
I wish my dad was around. That's all I thought about. No, but I was just like, yeah, like it seems like he's trying to recreate the Ken Griffey Jr. Thing, which was like that at the time was one of the most mind-boggling, coolest things like of all time. And it's like, granted, like Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Jr. or Ken Griffey Sr. were really good baseball players.
And baseball is a game where the longevity of how long you can play is vastly overstepping any other sport. Like you got guys who are still playing baseball at like 50 plus years old.
Yo, my boy Bartolo Colon is still out there. Let's go. That's the real popcorn poppy right there. My boy Bartolo. Yo, we're gonna have a Bartolo episode too. Like, yo, please come on this podcast and then adopt me. Like, what's up? Like, what's going on?
Like, Daddy?
No, it's gonna be the Spider-Man meme. We're just gonna point at each other. It's like, oh, you're just me.
But yeah, so I think, I mean, like, it's just not really much to think about. Like, I don't care if LeBron's like 40 something years old.
So I guess this is
my last year. Yes, I would still take LeBron.
This is probably the even better question. Who gives up the most to get Bronny at that point in time?
Oh, like a cat and mouse game, and we're gonna draft Bronny right now unless you give us your pick and that pick.
Yeah, because like that's the thing is like there's gonna be the top 5 or 6 guys.
Yep.
And then it's like after that, it's like these guys they're okay, like they're maybe starters, but it's like, do we want this guy or do we just draft Bronny and then get LeBron James?
I feel like it's gonna be some crazy situation where like there's a team who has the 1st or 2nd overall pick, but they have somebody else's 6th or 7th pick, and they mess around and get a stud and then still get Bronny and LeBron. And it's gonna look crazy.
If you're the New York Knicks, and like let's just say that's what I'm saying. It's like let's say like that year you have like the 16th pick.
Yes.
Can I come on, man. Can you stop?
Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's like, and you guys have like the 16th pick, and it's like you can see it, and it's like the 8th pick is right there. And it's like that's the Bronny pick. Do we give up the 16th pick, our next year's 1st round pick, Julius Randle, a bunch of 2nd round picks just to get this pick? Because now we have Bronny James and LeBron James.
Yes.
That's all I really wanted to say. And then it's like, if you're the 8th pick team, what is the whatchamacallit? What's the asking price? Because it's like yesterday's price is not today's price. Because now Bronny James and LeBron James package deal is up here. Like, if they're just like, yo, we want 6 first round picks?
No.
Is that too much?
Yes.
For LeBron James?
1 year of LeBron James. And then 5 years of Bronny, you don't know what's going to happen.
Aside from this year,
yes.
Name one time that you would not have taken 1 year of LeBron James. Even this year. Actually, I take that back. Even this year. How many teams would trade 6 first round picks for the year of LeBron James that he's giving you right now?
Bro, you saying 6 first round picks, man.
You're thinking about 2K. You stuck on 2K.
Yeah, man. I was like, the business aspect of me says no. But that first one that you threw out there?
Oh, because Pumpkin was in it or because of the picks were in it?
Now, the picks were in it, but you said a bunch of 2nd rounds, Pumpkin, next year's 1st round, and the swap of this.
So they were
round.
like,
yes.
They were like this year's pick and 3 future first round picks, Julius Randle, and a bunch of 2nd round picks. Like,
protected.
Top 3 protected. We'll say that. Like, so if it's a 4th overall pick, like, you still got to give it up.
Top 5 protected.
I don't think you really realize like LeBron James
I get it.
Is a complete franchise transformational type player.
40 though. He'll be 40.
If 40-year-old LeBron James is playing like LeBron James right now, are you worried about 40-year-old LeBron James?
No. He does take very good care of his body.
And then
there's some things that you just cannot rectify.
And then you also have to think about is like, and then we still get Bronny James. And it's like LeBron James is going to like really take this dude under his wing. And it's like, no, now you're training like me.
Right.
So it's like you could potentially have he's not going to be the next LeBron James. Let's keep that a whole stack. But it's like if you get the 1 year of LeBron James, and if he likes it there, you don't think LeBron James will be like, actually, no, I'll do 2 years. In New York. I like New York. Like that's how I'm gonna keep doing that because that's what's really tickling me right now. He's like, yeah, man, like, you know what? Actually, playing with Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett is pretty cool. Like, I'm gonna help all these young guys out.
Give me another $5 million, and then when I retire, I'm gonna coach here too.
I mean,
let's get off it. You get me all excited.
Even if Tibbs is on the team, like LeBron James coaching that team.
Of course.
People make all those like
Tibbs gonna show him how to play defense though.
I don't. All right, I'm not. I got nothing for that. I'm just gonna leave that where it's at. Taj Gibson will probably still be on the team too. I hate Taj Gibson. So
we'll do it.
Damn right he will.
Mm-hmm.
It's like because that man is getting nothing but health his next 5 years of his life. Derrick Rose is gonna retire on his own accord. That's all I got.
Big facts. Big facts.
But yeah, let's dive into the real meat of this is All-Star Weekend.
Hold on.
Oh,
some other breaking news.
Breaking news?
I don't know if you heard about this or not.
Okay.
But the iconic like throwback sports memorabilia company Mitchell and Ness was just purchased for $250 million. So I thought the same thing when you said it. It was super hyped. So the people who are involved are Lil Baby, Meek Mill, Maverick Carter, LeBron James, Jay-Z. Did I say Jay-Z already?
Nope, but I threw up the hope.
Jay-Z is in there, and then Michael Rubin. So I know the first 5 names. We know who that is. For you guys who don't know who Michael Rubin is, he is the CEO of Fanatics.
The website we buy your jerseys.
Yep, and he's also part owner of the Sixers.
Okay.
So this is, I don't want to say it's good and bad. I want to say there's glows and grows. Yeah. Just something we use at the school I work at, which is
roses and thorns. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
so
man.
It's super dope because like my mind just goes through 1,000 different possibilities of what you do with the Mitchell and Ness company, as far as like what goes on the fitted caps, what goes on new jerseys, like the like this could be the brink of like RIP a Virgil situation, you know what I mean? Like where you're putting like Meek Mill Philly stuff on a hat, you putting Jay-Z Marcy Project stuff on a hat, or like you're getting like throwback Negro League jerseys, that you may have never seen before, like iconic moments in rap where like, you know, Fabulous was like killing jerseys for a minute, you know what I mean? Like this was a jersey that Fab wore or something like that, TV shows, movies, like there's so many different ways you can go with this. But like the main point is like it's more ownership. It's more ownership, and that's a big piece of the pie. The grow for me that kind of, I don't want to say frustrated me, but it was kind of just like is the fact that Michael Rubin is 75% owner. So
I'm assuming he's bringing a lot of the
of course. So I mean, but you do have a billionaire in the mix, you know what I mean? But so the 25% is split between the other 5 gentlemen that I named first. I'm pretty sure Jay-Z probably has a more significant amount of that 25%, but I'm pretty sure they're all coming to the table with the same idea. So I'm excited about what it looks like and what it brings to the table. This could even be something as far as just like whoever makes jerseys for the leagues are not making jerseys anymore. They're doing it through Mitchell and Ness. Like it's just an assumption. I mean, you know, I feel like I had a Joel moment if it happens. You know where you heard it first, but I think it's big. Ownership is big. Revitalizing something like the Mitchell and Ness company that's kind of like taking a back burner. Like when you hear Mitchell and Ness, like it's kind of like that picture you showed. Like what everybody was at a party wearing a jersey. It's just 2003, you said, right? So it's just like there was a time when Mitchell and Ness was the thing, and now we can see what happens with that. So it was super dope.
I mean, the big part of it is like what you said is like more ownership. It's like it's great to see a brand that was completely built off of the backs of Black people, completely embraced and like, you know, spread across by Black people to now be owned by a majority of Black people, or like, you know, like Michael Rubin's white.
Yes.
Or something like that. Like, I know, like I've heard him in a couple of Jay-Z lyrics before and stuff like that. But it's just like, even still, it's like the fact that like,
sound like he's an ally.
I mean, the fact that we're getting a piece of the pie is kind of like where I'm at with it. And it's just like, I don't know if you remember like 2 or 3 years, I want to say it was pre-pandemic when like they had the certain teams were collaborating with rappers for jerseys. Like the Knicks had like Dipset variants, and I believe like Atlanta had like an Outkast jersey. So there was a bunch of them out there. But it's like, yeah, I'm just trying to see more of that. So
he's in the picture with Michael Rubin was one of the dudes who went to see Meek when he was locked up.
Yeah.
He was at the Rockefeller.
And you know the song "What's Free."
Yep.
Like Meek Mill talks about him in it and stuff like that.
Yep.
Michael Rubin, Robert Kraft.
Yep. There you go. Who were both at the Rock Brunch.
Rock Nation brunch.
There you go. So yeah, I'm excited. Like you said, it's ownership. Like you never know what this turns into, and ultimately it produces more jobs and more employment, and it gives people an opportunity to work for a company that they feel like they have some say in. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah. We ready to dive into All-Star stuff?
Have one more.
These are the
the reason I snuck these in is because I didn't want you to be preemptively charged up or ready for what I was giving to you to see what your response was to this next one.
Okay.
I read a report that Delonte West is returning to basketball. So like
the NBA?
I don't think it's the NBA. From what's been rumored is like he's gonna try out his recovery or whatever you want to call it in the big three. And it could potentially turn into a contract in China. So I mean, any of that is better than where he has been.
Yeah, I guess good for him.
Yeah.
Like I've never been a big Delonte West fan, so it's like I don't want to sit here and say like I don't care, but it's like I also don't want to see my man struggling on the side of the road.
Right.
But I was like, you're the reason that LeBron James left Cleveland in the first place. He was out there like, he was dirty. It's just dirty macking. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
saying. There you go.
He was out dirty macking, and he led to like the biggest free agents move of all time. And it's like, and he's a rotation player his career. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, but at the same time, it's like, it's great to see the reclamation project. I just hope that like he actually earns this stuff. Like, I hope they're not like kind of pity partying him around where it's like, or more or less like parading him around like, hey, we're the team that has Delonte West. Make sure you watch us.
Right.
And it's like, he's not putting out the performance that like you should to get like that type of recognition, facial recognition and stuff like that he's getting. That's all I want to say.
There was a recent video released of him working out in the gym. He was knocking down a lot of shots, but you could tell that like he wasn't moving at game speed. Like even like, when you see dudes shooting in the gym and there's nobody around them, even they're moving at a certain speed. Like I got to get here and kind of get there. He kind of had like a LA Fitness type look to him, but like I said, he was knocking shots down. So, it could have been his first day back in there and he's just trying to get acclimated. I'm hoping the best for him, man. I love comeback stories like this, man. I got a couple Raiders went through some of the same stuff. So it's good to see people bounce back and say, you know what, I'm glad I had somebody in my corner or helping me out through this toughest of times because stuff got dark and who knows where it could have led to. So shout out to Delonte West. Boom. All right, let's get to this All-Star weekend because I've got some happiness.
Do you think LeBron James owes Delonte West anything? Like, because a lot of people, like when they found him, they're like, oh, why doesn't LeBron like reach out to him? I was like,
why does it fall on LeBron?
Everything falls on LeBron. Like, why doesn't LeBron speak about this? Or like, why doesn't he's the face? So it's like,
why don't you speak about it?
But it's like, oh well, don't worry, Enos Freedom will. But like when the Delonte West thing happened, like I remember seeing like a lot of people they were like, why doesn't LeBron James just help him out? Like throw him a couple like $20,000 or $40,000 or something like that. And I was like, what does LeBron James owe Delonte West? Like he needs to go out of his way to do that. Like, yes, he's a great guy and like he has like a lot of stuff going on. But I was like, last time I checked, like you did me real filthy, and it's like I don't owe you anything. Like just because like we were coworkers,
and throwing money at people doesn't fix the problem.
Not at all, because that might have been like score, like the opposite of it. But let's get into All-Star Weekend. I don't want to talk about this. Don't worry.
Just so you guys know, before we get into this, Big Nasty called me, said, "Hey, let's make some picks for All-Star Weekend based on skills challenge, 3-point competition, and dunk contest." We'll let you know who we picked. Of course, we already know what the results were. And I'm not smiling for any reason other than...
I think it's pretty clear by the way one of us is talking all of a sudden who won it. Because one of us is more of a gloater than the other.
No. Who would gloat?
You're gloating so much you're floating. Floating.
All right, so let's start off with the skills challenge first. We can start from... Do you want to start with I don't want to talk about the celebrity game.
No, we don't have to talk
Even
about
though Myles Garrett was dunking like crazy and the high jumper was catching rebound bangs, I'm all set there.
But what about before we even start, the Rising Stars format was changed. Mm-hmm. It was changed quite a bit this year because usually what it used to be is it was always known as the rookie versus sophomore game. And it was a team of rookies, team versus sophomores.
They did U.S. versus World too.
Yeah, for a while, they kind of switched it, and they've kind of been trying to figure out what's the right move for it. So what they did this year, because it's the 75th anniversary of the NBA, is they picked 4 NBA legends, which happened to be Isaiah Thomas, Gary Payton, James Worthy, and Rick Barry. And what they did is they had the rookie players, they had the sophomore players, they put them in a big draft pool, and they had a draft. So they had the teams like that. They played 2 games. The 2 semifinal games were both played up to 50. And then the finals game was played up to 25 to equal 75 for the 75th anniversary. And I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. I was like, of all the things that and we're gonna get to it at some point, the things that don't work for All-Star Weekend, the tweaking of the Rising Stars game, I think, was definitely a tweak for the better. And
because it gives them, I liked it because it gives them a certain type of ownership. It's got kind of a park young guy feeling to it, and it doesn't just seem like a baby All-Star game. Yeah. I always was just all right, I'm looking for what I would look for in this game, and it's really not getting there.
I think what it used to be, and what my problem was, is the level of competition. Because the sophomores were always significantly better than the rookies. There would maybe be 2 rookies on the rookie team that were Luka and Trae Young type of deal. And they'd be these guys are nasty, but it's the whole other team is we've been in the league now. We have NBA bodies. Right. We're just better players than you. And it was then the game would always come down to the fourth quarter. People are just letting people do dunks, and they're pretty much having in-game dunk contests or whatever. But it's I feel the competition level now, they've figured it out. I absolutely love the inclusion of legends. That's one of my favorite things about the All-Star Weekend, because I feel no league does a better job of reintegrating their older players or celebrating their older players than the NBA. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that the NFL has, is they don't celebrate these guys enough.
It almost feels like a family reunion. It's all the OGs coming out and we kicking it.
Yeah, and it's just hey, and then we're gonna run the highlights of yo, this is you. And then it's I love seeing the young players being yo, I didn't get to see you play, but you were my dad's favorite player. You have no idea. I used to see your picture in my house, and my dad used to be yo, tell me stories about who this guy was. And now I'm in the same league, and it's I'm shaking hands with my dad's hero. That's crazy. And it's the idea of it is dope. And it's a lot of our guys are still around and stuff like that. And it's they should get a piece of this pie, and we should be celebrating them. I don't know if you saw on TNT where they were doing they just started this new segment, the handing out the roses, and they had T-Mac on. I was teared up because T-Mac was he's one of those guys where he was a lot of people's favorite player for a long period of time, and it's he didn't win a ring, stuff like that. So his name gets left out of a lot of stuff, but he's the guy that everybody brings up, but T-Mac though, and everybody goes, yo, Mac was a problem, and it's yes, we need to keep celebrating these guys.
I enjoyed the all-time great teams that they had. They did a draft pool for that too. I don't know if you watched it.
No, I didn't see that one. I must have missed that.
So it had DL Hughley had a team, Quavo had a team.
This is a wild mix of people.
Oh yeah, I want to say Jeannie Buss may have had a team.
Okay, this is wild.
The TNT crew had a team, so it was Chuck, Kenny, Shaq.
Yeah.
Ernie was hosting, I believe. There were 2 other dudes there. I don't know who they are because I came in a little late.
This is the competition where Scotty Barnes was stinking it up. Is that what we're talking about? Where he couldn't make a floater to save his life?
No. They were just picking teams.
Oh, okay. They just said these are the greatest teams of all time.
Right.
Who was the number 1 pick? Do you remember?
Take a guess.
The 2017 Warriors?
No. They were picking individual players.
Oh, okay. So it's Michael Jordan.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
So, but a lot of
so is this a replay of the very infamous one where they were having an all-star draft and Charles Barkley had the number 1 pick and he picked Allen Iverson and everybody was wait, what?
Yes.
It was of all the all-stars, he's you want Allen Iverson, and they're that's not what we're doing.
Yes. Yes. But
So
they really dug in the crates for this. So they were going like Elgin Baylor, Willis Reed. So it wasn't like
the same names you hear all the time.
Right. So it was pretty dope. And Quavo knew his research too. So I was like, all right, young boy, I see you.
He was like, yeah, my first pick, I picked Devin Booker. It's like, come on, Quavo.
No, he made sure to mix his young guys in there, but there's some young guys who are undeniable. So, like the top 10 guys in the league definitely got mixed in, which is also a sign of respect that like they're picking these older players, especially coming from like a Chuck, Kenny, and Shaq. Like they're picking these older players that they know, especially DL Hughley, like they know OG players. But if they're picking a newer player now to mix in with their OGs, that means there's a certain level of respect to say, like, you could have held your own against these type of guys. It was pretty dope.
Okay. I know we spent a lot of time on the Rising Stars game. I think it was, let me not be corny. I was going to say like a rising success or something like that. But it's like, Rising Stars game, thumbs up.
Yes.
The Rick Barry team defeated Isaiah Thomas's team with a score of 25-20. Josh Giddey was on that team, I'm pretty sure. No, but I know like my boy, Cade Cunningham, took home the MVP. Did you know what Cade Cunningham's nickname is, by the way?
No.
So I want you to put this together, by the way. So he's Detroit, number 1 overall pick. His name is Cade Cunningham. His nickname is the Motorcade. That's fire, bro. Like, come on, like,
okay.
Like, is it up? Like, it didn't. You didn't give me the same reaction of when I told you John Collins' nickname, John the Baptist.
Because that's
up there.
That's fire.
But I was like, yo, whoever came up with Motorcade, I was like, you deserve something.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm just still waiting for Cade to show me something.
What is he not showing you? Like, he's like one of the 3 best rookies in the league right now.
Okay.
Detroit just sucks. What do you want from him?
Maybe that's what it is. But I haven't watched a lot of Detroit ball either.
So I mean, yeah, because we suck. But it's like we're actually winning. Like some, I think we're
you know, when that rookie race starts, you start to see like little highlights and films. You know what I mean? And I just haven't seen much on Cade, so I'm gonna have to do my research.
If I was just to speak on this like as briefly as I can, is I think the reason why you haven't been seeing that type of stuff is because Cade, it seems like this year has really, really tried to focus on not like dominating the ball. So it's like there's not a lot of like me doing ISO plays and I'm like taking hero ball shots. He's really, really getting everybody involved in the offense. He's really moving stuff around. And it's like he looks like a vet out there. And it's like he's getting like this is the reason why like Sadiq Bey's been blowing up like quite a bit. Isaiah Stewart's been getting a lot of stuff. It's like, yeah, because like he's really like out there like making stuff happen. It's like I've really been excited watching him play. It's like this isn't the Cade I thought I was gonna get. What I thought I was gonna get was kind of like Damian Lillard from like a year or two ago, where it was like this man is coming down with the ball, 80 shooting the ball, and no one else has touched the ball, and it's just like he's like no, like I'm running the coach's plays, and it's like I'm getting this stuff moving, and like he's getting like triple doubles like off the iron, so you know,
respectable.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
The next event that we did have was the skills challenge, which they changed the format of that as well.
It was pretty dope.
So they broke it down into 4 different categories. So it was like the first round was shooting, and it was like they had to shoot like it was pretty much a hot shot type of deal. Then they brought the passing, where it's like they had to pass through. It was like a bunch of moving targets that were different points, and then they had to run the course. And then the final thing is they had to make the half court shot.
That was only for a tiebreaker, but yes. So
is that all it was? It was only because of tiebreaker. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think the ending skills, so like all the first 2 events were worth 100 points, and then the last one was worth 200 points.
Right.
I think that's what it was.
Because you're home. So we picked teams.
Yep.
Nobody picked the Antetokounmpo brothers.
So the 3 teams there was a team rookie, which had Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, Josh Giddey. There was team Cleveland, which had Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. And then there was team Antetokounmpo, which was Giannis, Thanasis, and Alex, which, by the way,
I'm all set. As soon as I knew they were all together, I was like, they're shooting in the
when I was writing the names down, I was like, so you're telling me that when these kids were born, they were like Giannis, Thanasis, Alex. Like that's how they did it. Like, yo, like what was that? And it was like, yo, we had to pick. It was like, yo, like I gave you the first pick. You chose Team Cleveland, right?
I chose Team Cleveland.
And I was like, whatchamacallit? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking Team Rookie. And you were just like, oh, you don't want the Bucks team? I was like, let's be honest, neither of us wanted those teams because like
there is shooting involved.
Yeah, I was like, and they definitely proved that.
It was hilarious because Giannis started off with the 5-pointer, then he hit the 3. They was like, oh, he's going off. Never made a shot again. Brother comes up, hits the 5-pointer. We're like, oh, he's about to do the same thing. He did exactly the same thing. But
they did win the passing portion though. They did win.
Yeah, they did win the passing portion. So yeah, the way it works is one was 100, one was 100, one was a 200. Your rookie team won the 200 event, which was the obstacle course.
Yep.
And because that, it made a tie between my Cleveland team and the Giannis brothers, and that's when they had to do the half court shot,
which Cade hit in 9 seconds. So then the clock was coming.
Oh wait, the Giannis brothers won.
What do you mean?
The Giannis brothers won.
No.
So why was the 2 half courts?
I told you there was 4 events, bro.
Oh,
and like you keep
right,
keep trying to say there was a tie, and I was like,
right,
the numbers don't add up.
My bad.
I was trying to let you eat, and I wasn't gonna say nothing.
There was a tie though. There was a tie though.
One team had 200 and 2 other teams at 100. How does that tie?
The 2 teams that had 100 had to go to the final for the half court shot, and they basically just picked the best shooter on their team.
Oh, okay.
And there was no shooter on the Bucks team. I mean the brothers team. So Darius Garland knocked it down, and they went to the finals against the rookie. So my bad. Yes, you're right.
But Cade Cunningham in the 4th one, he hits the half court shot with 9 seconds.
9 seconds.
And then I was like, so now the time is set.
When I was like, freaking Cade,
because you were talking mad smack about Cade the whole time. Like I was like,
he was trying to play it too cool.
He was trying to be too cool, but then I think he figured out because Scotty Barnes was awful like almost the entire All-Star weekend. I was like, bro, what is good with this dude? Granted, he is a defender and like shooting's not really his thing, but it was just like he was looking like a next level trash. He was looking like the nicest, but
don't come back.
So like now the clock is set, and it's like the Team Cavalier had 9 seconds to make their shot. I want to say it was in like 2.8 seconds. Like Evan Mobley hits the game winner, and like Team Cavs get the dove. Point raising. You know what I mean? And I say another welcome change to the whatchamacallit. I do think that they need to do a different team for I like the idea of like there being a team for the host city. So like this year was
got to do that.
This year was in Cleveland, so you got to keep that one. I like the team rookie as well. I don't know if like we're gonna do siblings or like whatever it's gonna be.
Team vets.
Some sort of team vets or team legends. Like bring some people who like recently.
Because that was dope too. Because they had legend teams before, or like you had to have a legend.
Yeah, that was like the shooting stars thing.
Yeah.
But like you try to tell me if they were like recently retired people. So like if we had like a Dwayne Wade, Dirk, Vince Carter team.
Dwayne Wade's not allowed to participate in anything.
He spoke at one point and he made a joke and everybody booed him. He was like, "Never mind." He kept it up.
Right.
But yeah, I really like
even in the dunk contest. He was like, "There's no way this is not a 50." And somebody was like, "Unless one of the judges decides to change their mind and ruin their call." Oh, hey, D-Wade. I was like, "Yeah, get him. Get him."
Shots was most certainly being fired.
Well deserved.
But yeah, I loved all the additions to that. I'm all in on the skills challenge. It's actually become one of my favorite parts of the weekend now. Stuff like that. The real favorite part of the weekend, I think it's become everybody's favorite part of the weekend, is the 3-point shootout. So like the contestants in it, I'm going to try and do it like the best I can off of my memory. We had Trae Young.
Well, just say who was on your team because we picked for those too.
Okay, so what we did is there was 8 contestants. So I picked 4 people. He picked 4 people as well.
Yep.
My team was CJ McCollum, Karl Anthony Towns, Fred VanVleet, and Desmond Bane.
Fred was terrible.
Terrible.
I had Trae Young. I had Luke Kennard. I had
your forehead brother,
Patty Mills. His brother's Trevor. And
Zach LaVine.
Yep, Zach looked terrible too. I would say.
I'm not gonna lie. A lot of them looked pretty bad. Like, especially my team. Like, I feel like all of my guys were like the first 3 people that went, and I was like, these brothers was putting up like 14s, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I'm about to get swept by Raisin. I was like, this is gonna be disgusting.
I was like, when Luke Kennard went off for that 28, I was like, oh, we out of here early, baby. We out of here early. Then that man Cat came up, was like set shot, high arcing jumper. I was like, he shoot like Raisin.
That brother looked into the crowd, locked eyes with Jordan Woods, and she was like. He was like, "Oh, yeah, so glad I got it in." I thought
you were about to give the fist for like February. Oh my goodness,
February fist. All
right. My goodness.
And that brother proceeded to hit 28 of them Johns.
29
of them Johns.
Trae could have got him, but Trae was kind of like, there was a couple shots where he was like, trying to be cool with it. Like, bro, if you hadn't hit that Mountain Dew ball, you'd have been all right.
So like, all right. I think
So Cat won, tie game,
yes.
1-1.
Final three was Trey Young, Luke Kennard, Karl Anthony Towns.
I had great odds.
I was not very confident.
I had great odds. I was like,
oh. And then Cat just like all of a sudden was just on fire. And
crazy.
And they sent him out first.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God. I was like, they're gonna put my man up to the shooting gallery.
Yes.
And I was like, he was like, all right, young boys.
I
lone big
I had
man
it in the bag.
The lone big man in there too, because I was just
crazy.
Like, he went off.
He went crazy.
That's
but
right.
He looked exactly how he was supposed to look. He looked like a vet amongst boys, and he showed them what was really real. It's like, just so y'all know, I'm about this action. Y'all are just learning about this action, and took their heads off.
Yeah. Like I said, like I think the 3-point contest has become the new star of All-Star Weekend night.
To the point to even some of the vets was like, we should switch the rotation.
100%. I'm so down for the 3-point shootout to be the last event and stuff like that. I think that there needs to be like a little bit of like I really liked the original rules for it. It's like all the balls are 1 point aside from one money ball at the end.
Yes.
And then it's like you just go from there. And it's just like one, it just seems the most fair.
I mean, I don't mind the money ball rack.
So that's my thing. Is like
the
I feel
Mountain
like
Dew joint is a little over.
That's the OD part
top.
to me.
Yeah.
Is like, or why do you have the regular balls, money ball, and the money ball rack? Let's just be like, yo, there are 5 money balls. You can spread them between, you know, the things
rack.
if you want to, like the ones that you want to, and just like go from there. And it's like, so that way we can keep the point totals like making sense. Cause like when you think about it, like historically, it's like, this brother got 29 points, but he missed 7 of his shots. Like that's not the same of like back in the day when like Larry Bird hit all 30 of the shots. And it's like, you telling me that he only got 1 point and he did not miss in his warm-ups.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, like that was one of the coldest moments.
Definitely had that warm-up.
And then what's we call it? When he shot the last one, put his finger up before he even went in. I was like, my boy, Larry, you're legend. That's what I'm telling you, boy. I'm telling you.
I never brought it up, but there's a power scene in the Tommy episode where the dude was like, Tommy's talking to him. He was like, you got like a mass accent, huh? He was like, you one of them Patriot Celtics fans. So the dude ends up in a fight with Tommy. He was like, F Tom Brady and F Larry Bird. Tommy ends up breaking him off, right? And he was like, hey, I don't even like Tom Brady, but Larry Bird?
No, don't disrespect them.
It's a lifetime legend.
That boy from French Lick, which the guy that they got playing him for the new show that's coming out, I can't remember what it's called now. Showtime show. I was like, they got Larry Bird looking crazy in here. Yeah. Like Larry Bird looks crazy. I think
they probably cast it like Magic looks like
Magic looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
The Kareem guy looks phenomenal.
Kareem, Worthy. Like I was like, yo, they are actually going to the wall with this.
If you haven't seen it, wait till you see the Larry Bird guy.
I'm gonna look for it.
But yeah, I think like I said, I feel like half of the 3-point contestants they didn't really do much, and it's like you got eliminated. Like that's kind of what happens. But like the final 3 guys, I felt like put on the show. But then we have to go to the final event, and I think that's where we're gonna have most of the things to speak about is the slam dunk contest, which used to be the starring point of All-Star. It almost seems like this is what we all came here for. Right. We don't really care about the game. We're here for the slam dunk contest. Right. There's 4 contestants, so we did another draft, and we split them amongst each other. I picked Jalen Green and Juan Toscano Anderson.
I had Cole Anthony and Obi Toppin.
Right. Obi Toppin winds up going to the final round with Juan Toscano Anderson. So I was like,
this is pretty dope.
Yeah. And like, first of all, Juan Toscano Anderson showed up with a Mexico jersey. And I was like, give my man
Snickers match.
I was like, give my man like 30 points just for this. I was like, I don't care. I was like, I'm just glad that he's
here. And then take those points away for trying to reinvent all Vince Carter's dunks and doing terribly with it.
That was really bad, especially the arm in the rim one where he just didn't get enough air on it.
Even the 360 windmill, that's a Vince Carter dunk, and a lot of people didn't bring it up. They brought up the arm in the rim one, but the one before that is a Vince Carter dunk. It did not show the explosiveness. It did not show the intensity. It was like, come on, man, Like if you're gonna do it, you gotta make sure you're doing it, and you need to call Vince before you do so. Take your jersey off, have on a Vince jersey. Like you gotta pay homage, and that joint did not come off well.
I mean, let's just do point blank. Period. Like the slam dunk contest was awful.
It was
bad. It was like
Tim's. Come on.
It was really bad. And it's like. It's been on the downswing for a number of years, and like granted, like it got reinvigorated with the Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine and stuff like that. But it's like it's been on the
got ruined by D Wade. I'm sorry.
It's been on the downswing for like quite some time, and I think like people are really trying to figure out like how do we revitalize this? Do you have any suggestions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Slam dunk teams.
What do you mean?
Like you have like teams. Like you have to have a dope dunk. Your teammate has to have a dope dunk. And like
So like instead of there being 4 contestants, there's essentially like 20 contestants.
it'd be like 8, 2x2s.
Also, teams of duos.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when you get into the final round, it's kind of like a challenge type thing. You get into the final round, and it's the last 4 people. Now it's singles.
That's tough though, because then like I feel like they have a hard enough time coming up with people to want to be contestants.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like to find 2 people on the same team that want to be contestants.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, like Jalen Green was this year. It's
No,
like,
you don't gotta be on the same team.
oh, so you could just do anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Mm.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. It's interesting. I just
It was just
like,
off
I
the
don't
top
know.
of the dome too. So I mean, it's not something I thought through. But
So like first and foremost, I
to
think
make it interesting.
I think that they should eliminate on the first dunk. You are not allowed to use any sort of prop. Like you can't bring props out.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have people throw alley-oops to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like your first dunk has to be just you and the basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether you throw an alley-oop to yourself or like whatever it may be,
Mm-hmm.
it can only be you for your first
I like
dunk.
that.
And
I think
then
they could do replica dunks too. Like
yeah,
and this year, the most iconic dunk that won the dunk contest for this person was this dunk. Can you do it?
yeah. There was the year that Blake Griffin won. I think it was Blake Griffin won, or maybe it was the
He
second
jumped over to Kia.
Yeah, but like the thing is, they had they gave them slam dunk coaches, and I remember like that was like a thing, and it was like everybody had to do a throwback dunk or something like that. So like I remember, I can't remember who it was, but they wore like a Dominique Wilkins jersey. They did a Dominique dunk. Someone did a Vince Carter arm in the rim, I'm pretty sure. And then it was just like one of my big things is after your 2 attempts, do a totally different dunk. Like whatever,
Yes.
like Jalen Green taking like 19 attempts to do his dunk.
And
Like I was like, bro,
change it anyway.
I was like, bro, 2 attempts. If you can't get it, change the dunk. If you need
Bring
to,
back the time limit.
if you need an extra round, or if you make it to the next round, try that dunk again then.
Mm-hmm.
But you're losing the momentum, you're losing the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking so long. Like that's the thing is like, yo, like I must have been like I was on my phone. I completely missed one of the dunks, and it was like the person that I was there with was like, it wasn't worth it anyways.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
didn't
cool.
see Toscato's first dunk because I was just like, I went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I came back just in time for Obi. I was like, okay, we're here. But yeah,
I think I think there should be like rules. So like I think if you win the dunk contest, you automatically have to be in it next year.
mm-hmm.
I think that they should be a dunker from the G League. I think that they're like,
That's
they do a G League thing and you
That's
win the
dope.
G League slam dunk contest, like you get to be in the NBA slam dunk contest.
Give them 4 dunks. Like you got to meet these criteria. You have to do a bounce off the floor. You have to do
That
an
was-
alley-oop.
That was the thing too. Do you remember they had like the wheel for a while? It was like, and it was like they spun the wheel, and it was like, you have to do a 360 or like you have to do a tomahawk or something like that,
Right.
and it was like that was fire. Or like if we do second round is your prop dunks.
Mm-hmm.
Is like first round like you have to be solo. Second round is your prop dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Third dunk is your throwback dunk or like whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you make it to the second final round, it's like whatever you got in your bag type of deal.
Right.
And it's like I think that's kind of the way to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I said,
And they got to work on trying to get some of these bigger names in these dunk contests. Like I know there's a lot of guys that could have been in this dunk contest to make it a little more interesting, and guys are just opting to not be in it for whatever reason. Like you got to find I don't know if it's a stipend or whatever it is that they're doing. They need to give these guys a reason to want to be in the dunk contest.
because they used to win like a car. Like that was the thing. It was like if you win the slam dunk contest, you get a car.
I don't want a Kia.
And then it was like if you win, like you get a donation to like your charity and stuff like that. And it's like there has to be like a bigger thing to it.
Right.
And it's like I can't think of anything that has like real weight. Like you can't like get your team an extra draft pick or like stuff like that, or like you know what I mean. But it's like it's got to be
Monetary
something.
compensation.
Yeah, and it's Sprite does a slam dunk contest, right? So it's like
They
Sprite
used to. I don't know who does it now because I didn't see
or
nothing.
is it T-Mobile? No, T-Mobile does a
T-Mobile's
Rising
everything.
Stars.
Yeah, so I don't know. I know when Sprite was doing
Mountain
it,
Dew is a
it was
3-point.
on the floor, it was on the hoop, it was in between commercials. I didn't see Sprite anything.
I think it's still Sprite. 3-point is Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
T-Mobile is the Rising Stars game. I
You're
think.
definitely right about the last two. That's why they have the Mountain Dew ball
Yeah.
and the 3-point, and T-Mobile at the Rising Star joint. I just don't know for the dunk contest.
Yeah, I want to say it's still Sprite though. As far as I know.
I mean, but it could be
Yes.
Kia because Kia was sponsoring giving away the car.
Yeah.
So who knows?
But yeah, I mean It sucks that that's the way that the game kind of got deflated.
Yeah.
You did win the bet, which you got a free breakfast this morning. Congratulations. It ain't Ruth Chris, I mean. So.
Good mood. That's fine. I'll take it.
I know.
The win, it was less about the food and more about the win.
I know.
Because now we can say since we started the pod, we have made 2 gentlemen's wagers and we're 1-1.
That is true.
Optimistic.
We gotta keep a record. All right, bro. So
all right, bro.
In a couple hours is going to be the All-Star game, which we're both pretty confident LeBron's going to come out on top.
Definitely.
They haven't announced yet what the format is going to be, but I think it is going to be something along the lines of the Rising Stars game, where it's like you have to reach a certain score, and then like the fourth quarter is kind of like we just play 12 minutes running clock type of deal. They're like whatever.
How crazy if they showed up and it was just like, hey, we're adding 2 more captains, and they're going to be allowed to pick 5 people off of each of your rosters or something like that.
Who would the 2 captains be?
I don't know. It'd be OGs. It would definitely have to be OGs.
Charles and Shaq, like that'd probably be who it is. Like
that would be dope.
I was trying to think of like an old school player that doesn't get a lot of recognition. I was like Kareem. Oh, they did Kareem and
be chilling.
If they do Kareem and Bill Russell. Yo, I needed to bring this up because we were talking about legends and like them being back and stuff like that. The slam dunk contest. I'm really worried about Julius Erving, bro. Like I thought like he did not look good like there. Like he looked like he was very like not aware of what was going on. Like they were calling his name and he's like moving. I was like, I really hope someone's checking in on Dr. J because I was like, I did not think that he looked well.
I agree. It was definitely concerning. But this is what happens. I felt the same way about Bill Russell. When he hands out the MVP Finals MVP trophy.
Yeah, he didn't do it last year because he couldn't physically make it.
Right.
And he's been like that for a number of years now.
Right. So it's just like we're getting to that time where we got to start celebrating people while they're here, man, because you don't know when they will not be.
I think, but like that's what I think the NBA excels at.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the same year Kobe passed, like everything was very Kobe.
Yes.
And stuff like that. Like they made sure to capitalize on all that type of stuff. Bill Russell is obviously named after the Finals MVP trophy. Kareem's going to be a weird one though, because he was kind of like a much maligned figure in the NBA. Like when he was there, like he wasn't the most open with the press and like all the other type of stuff. And like he seems kind of like to really distance himself.
Because he wasn't with all that nonsense. He was like the Ali of NBA, but he just didn't do all the talking. Yeah, you know what I mean, he wasn't with it. He was looking at the bigger picture always. It was like, I'm here to play basketball, but I know how y'all really feel about me.
Well, yeah, that's it. This is the end of our part 3. That's the end of like the hardcore check-in. Again, I know that this one went a little bit longer, but I mean it's still a lot less longer than our normal videos. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, and in the comment section, let us know how you feel about this new format. If we're gonna keep it going, any other suggestions. And with that being said, man, enjoy y'all weekend. We'll see y'all on Tuesday.